we're gonna tackle about the controversial first mass on the Philippines. So what it's all about? So let's start in on March 31, 1521, an Eastern Sunday. Where is the first documented Catholic mass in the Philippines held, which was officiated by Father Pedro Valderrama, who is the only priest then, conducting near the shores of the island. Last Sunday, the first Holy Mass marked the birth of Roman Catholicism in the Philippines. The first Holy Mass was celebrated not in Visayas but in Mindanao, because that is historical event. That first step of taking territory in the name of God and King occurred then in Lisawa, which is part of Visayas, but in Butuan, situated in a northern Mindanao.
Other Leyte that was held on March 31, 1521, Easter Sunday, Magellan sent some men ashore to prepare a suitable place. It was conducted by Father Pedro de Valderrama of Ferdinand Magellan's expedition along the shore of referred to in the journals of Antonio Pigafetta as a Mazua. And the site is widely believed by many historians and the government to be the Masawa of the tip of southern Leyte. Until the 19th century, the prevailing belief was the first mass was held in Butuan. Someone maintained who asserted the first mass was held on Masao, Butuan. The official declaration is that Mazua is in the island across the southern of Leyte named Masao. This is disputed by those who insist that Mazua is in Butuan and is the true site of the first mass. And this issue about the first mass, National Historical Commission of the Philippines panel adopted the recommendation and agreed that evidence and arguments presented by the Butuan advocates are not sufficient and convincing enough to warrant the reversal of the case by the National Historical Institute. It is further strengthened by the evidence that was only after 22 years in 1543 a Spanish expedition by Roy Lopez de Villalobos landed in Mindanao.
And so, in conclusion, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, formerly known as the National Historical Institute, has ruled for the second time that the first mass really happened in Limasawa and not in Butuan. They ruled that the pro-Butuan lacked the sufficient evidence that the mass really did happen in Butuan. So until historians provide the sufficient evidence that they lack to prove that the first mass really did happen in Butuan, they cannot overrule the NHCP's decree. And that is why there is still a controversy regarding this topic, because the pro-Butuan only has insufficient evidence, and therefore they still have the room to investigate and to prove their case that the first mass really did happen not in Limasawa but in Butuan. And so that is all for the first mass controversy, and see you next time.
Filipino military personnel aboard San Felipe Arsenal in Cavite, Philippines, staged to Cavite Mutiny was precipitated by the removal of long-standing personal benefits to the workers, such as tax or tribute, and forced labor exemptions on order from the Governor General Rafael de Esquerdo. Esquerdo replaced Governor General Carlos Maria de la Torre some months before in 1871. Torres' liberal measures and imposed his iron fist rule. He was opposed to any hint of reformers or nationalistic movements in the Philippines. He was in office for less than 2 years, but he will be remembered for his cruelty to the Filipinos and the barbaric execution of the three martyr priests blamed for the mutiny, which is Fathers Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, later collectively from Gamborza. The mutineers were led by Sergeant Fernando Lamadre. They seized the fort and killed the Spanish officers. Fearing a general uprising, the Spanish government in Manila sent a regiment under General Felipe Hinoves to recover the fort. Esquerdo used the mutiny to implicate Gamborza and other notable Filipinos known for their liberal learnings. Prominent Filipinos such as priests, professionals, and businessmen were arrested on flimsy and trumped-up charges and sentenced to prison, death, or exile. These include Joaquin Pardo de Tavera, Jose Pasa, and Antonio M. Regidor. It was said that the Cavite mutineers got their coup from Manila when they saw and heard fireworks across the Manila Bay, which was really a celebration of the feast of the Lady of Loreto in Sampalo. When the Archbishop of Manila, Reverend Meliton Martinez, refused to cooperate and defrocked the priest, the Spanish court martial on February 15 went ahead and maliciously found Fathers Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora guilty of treason for instigating the Cavite mutiny. 2 days later, the three priests were put to death by garrote in Bagumbayan, now known as Luneta. Garrote was a barbaric Spanish method of execution in which an iron collar was tightened around the prisoner's neck until death occurred.
Father Burgos was of Spanish descent, born in the Philippines. He was a parish priest of the Manila Cathedral and had been known to be close to the liberal governor, General de la Torre. He was 35 years old at that time and was active and outspoken in advocating the Philippinization of the clergy. He was quoted as saying, "Why shall a young man strive to rise in the profession of law or theology when he can vision no future for himself but obscurity?" Mora 37 was also Spanish, born in the Philippines. He was the parish priest of Marikina and was known to be unfriendly to and would not countenance any arrogance or authoritative behavior from Spaniard coming from Spain. He once snubbed a Spanish governor who came to visit Marikina. Father Gomez was an old man in his mid-70s, Chinese-Filipino born in Cavite. He held the most senior position of the three as Archbishop, Vicar in Cavite. He was truly nationalistic and accepted the death penalty, calmly as true it were his penance for being pro-Filipinos. The three priests were stripped of their oaths and with chained hands and feet were brought to their cells. After the sentence, they received numerous visits from folks coming from Cavite, Bulacan, and elsewhere. 40,000 Filipinos came to Lunita to witness and quietly condemn the execution. And Gamborza became a rallying catchword for the downtrodden Filipinos seeking justice and freedom from which I undertake